Hey, this is Anthony with TradingBTC.com. Today is April 7th, and I wanted to give an update on Bitcoin. Um, as you can see, back on April 6th, price had broke down through support, and it completely just accelerated to the downside, ultimately stopping right around 40, let's just call it 43,200. Now, I certainly wasn't expecting price to break support and accelerate to the downside anywhere near as much as it has. Um, but the last 2 days, we're at least not selling to the downside. Um, it's also not really bouncing back strongly. I say this is more of a weak bounce here. So, two scenarios: either price goes sideways for a couple more days and forms a bear pennant, which means we're going to have more downside equivalent to roughly um, about 41,000. So right in this area here, if we are in fact forming a bear flag. Um, Second scenario is that price, first of all, gets back above yesterday's high, which was 43,896. But I'd rather see it accelerate back to the upside to at least test this 20-day moving average here, which would be roughly 44,756. Um, let's move over to look at a couple different time frames and kind of see um, what's happening with price on a shorter time frame. So if we switch to the 15-minute chart, you can see here we bottomed back on April 6th, which was yesterday. Price has really gone sideways since then. It's really not done anything. The oscillator did start moving higher, crossed above the zero line. It's been going back and forth. So right now the market is just waiting, or price is just waiting for something to trigger buying or selling to the buying to the upside, selling to the downside. On a 1 hour chart here, you can see again we had this waterfall. Now we've gone sideways. The oscillator is trying to move back up to the upside. That's a good sign. We could get a run back up to that 44,750 range as well. Going to the 4 hour. Now here's the 4 hour. This is a different look than the 15 and the 1 hour. The oscillator did start moving to the downside, broke the zero line here, and now you can see it is trying to just start to turn here. At least it's not going down with the amount of momentum that it was going down previously. So again, it's going to be up to this price action over the next couple days. If we can get above this 43.8 level, which was the high a couple days ago, then we should see the oscillator start to move back to the upside, and that would be a very good sign as well. And then going back to our daily, so our daily is still clearly above the zero line. The bears, have taken some bites out of the momentum. You can see here, so far today, momentum is still going down. It's just not accelerating as much as it was previously. So at this point, we're just waiting to see how this is going to get resolved. Like I said, I didn't expect a move down this sharply, but it's in this market, things like this do happen. You have to keep in mind that there are not very many coins that are for sale on exchanges for Bitcoin. So if there's not a lot of coins available to purchase, then any buyer that wants to come into Bitcoin only has a couple choices. One is they go and buy at that price, and most likely they will have to buy as price is rising. Option 2 is they need to shake the tree and flush out the weak hands in order to pick up some BTC. And then option number 3 is just simply wait. I don't see them taking option number 3. Um, if option number 1, in terms of just buying at a higher price and having to FOMO into the price in order to get the position they want, I don't see them doing that either. So option number 2 is where I'm leaning towards at this point. What they're trying to do is they're trying to shake people out of their positions. And this is Bitcoin, and this is all cryptos. They're trying to shake people out of these coins so that they can then pick up the coins themselves. And so what that means to you as a trader is either you set a stop loss, whether it's mental or physical, at your normal stop loss percentage that you're willing to put at risk. So let me just, as an example, let's just say your normal loss you're willing to endure is 10%. So you put a mental stop or a physical stop at 10% below the price that you purchased. Now, you'll stay in the trade as long as price doesn't go down below 10%. As soon as it does, you're going to get the trigger, and then you'll sell out of the position. But in the environment that we're in now, because there's not a lot of coins available for Bitcoin on exchanges, any big money that wants to come in, their only option is to shake the trees, which means they'll go in and they'll, let me go back to a 15-minute chart here. They'll go in and they'll make a buy, and it'll take price up to, let's say, 43.8. And they're hoping that other people will follow them in buying and bidding the price higher. Let's say that in this example, they went in and bought, others followed them, and price got to 44,200, or excuse me, 44,000, which is the 200-day moving average. So then what they'll do is they'll sell a huge chunk of what they just bought, hoping that the price will then tank, and those people that they got to FOMO behind them will get triggered stop losses, and that will allow the big institutions to get a bigger quantity of coins. So I believe that that's what they're doing right now, is they're shaking the trees every opportunity they can. So in terms of you as a trader, you either have to, at this point, accept that if you're going to put in a trade in a stop loss, you're going to get triggered a stop loss much more often right now in this environment. Now, you can also widen your stop loss. Let's say that you normally, if you're comfortable with a 10% loss, then in order to prevent someone from shaking you out or hitting your stop loss at minus 10% of where you purchased, maybe you widen the stop loss, let's say 15 to 20%. But if you do that, then all you're doing is putting yourself in a bigger position for taking losses. So there is another option, and that is just not to play. There are times to play, and there's times not to play. And what I'm saying is, if these whipsaws in prices are not letting you sleep, or you're getting concerned, or you're just completely confused, then you need to really slow down on your trading, and you may in fact just have to sit out until we actually get a clear breakout. So I'm just mentioning this because I've gotten some comments. People got a little freaked out, and it's totally understandable, but that's the situation you put yourself in terms of, you either don't trade, you go into a trade with your normal stop loss and be subjected to whipsaws, or you widen your stop loss and you subject yourself to a much bigger loss if price tanks. So I'm just asking everyone to make sure that they know why they're going in this trade, to know why or how much they're willing to risk, and you need to stick with that plan. There's going to be plenty of opportunities. If this market is too volatile, there's plenty of opportunities coming up. So I just wanted to add that in there. I'm hoping that we're going to recover with Bitcoin in the next few days here, but we'll just have to kind of take it as it goes. Sorry, this one was a little bit longer. Hopefully you got some good feedback from me. And certainly if you have any questions, DM me. The reason I say to DM me is when you comment on the chart, which is great, and then you want to follow up answer, it helps for me to go through the direct messages rather than go search for your comment on the chart. So if you could do that, I would appreciate it. I'm always available on my DMs. So just let me know if you have any questions. And with that, I'll end it and just say good luck trading.